mates. I'm Alex.
And I'm Gaston.
Welcome to Power Mates.
This is the place to learn and share about Fabric and Power Platform. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this channel with your friends and colleagues. So, what's up, Power Mates? Here we are again. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a super exciting video. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one because we are diving into a game-changing new feature that's going to transform how you work with your data, and this is Incremental Refresh in Dataflows Gen 2.
Yeah, if you have been struggling with the slow data refreshes, waiting resources on full data set update, or just want to get smarter with your data strategy, this is for you. We are breaking down exactly how to set up these incremental refreshes step by step. And we will see and show you how it can supercharge your performance. So let's get started, my friend.
So why you should care about incremental refresh? Imagine you got a massive data set like years of sales records, and every time you refresh, you're reloading all the semantic model, everything, all a new data. That is kind of painful, right? So full refreshes are slow and resource hungry, and let's be honest, a bit outdated.
Yeah, but with incremental refreshes, Microsoft Fabric's data flows change the game. Instead of reloading the entire data set, it only refreshes the data that is new or updated on some point. So this means faster refreshes and more efficiencies of resource usage and better overall performance, of course.
So if you're working with large growing data sets, and incremental refresh is going to be a must have for you. So let's show how you can set up this one. Let's head over to my machine. So this is our main page as usual, the Fabric homepage. To access the data flows and the incremental refresh, remember that you can go with Data Factory right here, or just click on the Microsoft Fabric icon and just click in the Data Factory options back there. Uh, that is the very first step. If you want to create your data flow from scratch, you hit the Data Factory options, and then in the top right, you have Data Flows Gen 2. So click on this one, create your data flows from scratch. You can see that in the top left corner, you can define incremental refresh or name your data flow. And as usual, you can import data from Excel, SQL, or any other data sources. I have one of them up and running on my section here. So after you create your data flow from scratch, you're going to be looking at, in my case, orders table. So this is where uh, magic happens, but you need to kind of set up in the settings tab to turn on the incremental refresh. That is just in the order table. In my case, right click, and the option is incremental refresh right away. This is the very first step to set up your incremental refresh. Remember that you can only do that in a date field. So that is a key element to define incremental refreshes. So in most cases, you will use something like, in this case, order date or last updated date. That's a key element.
Yeah, and for this example, we will connect to the data set that tracks customer orders over time. So perfect for showing off incremental refreshes, right? So we only want to refresh recent orders, not the entire history.
Yeah, that is correct, and Alex, and that is where everything comes interesting, because once you create your data flows, you set up, as I mentioned before, in settings tab. Turn on the incremental refresh toggle. You then pick a date field, and I am going to be clicking on the option of incremental refresh. So you can see that I going to be enabling the incremental refresh. I need to pick up, my date column here. And in this case is giving me the option of order date. That is the one that I'm going to choosing from. I can define what is the late data that I'm going to be refreshing on this one. Let's say that I'm going to want to refresh the last 2 weeks. Then I'm going to define the bucket size if I need to do the partition by day, by week, by month, by quarter, by year. And the last but not least is define the data, in this case order date, as the data that when the maximum value in this column change, so I can see and say, hey, I want to connect with order date and start monitoring what is the latest date that I have on that column.
Yeah, exactly. So this step is critical. Once you choose your date field, Fabric knows what to look at when refreshing. So it will only pull in records that have been added or changed since the last refresh.
Yeah, this saves a ton of processing power and time, which is exactly what we want. So, next, as you can see here, let's define how far back you want to refresh. In the settings, you can see that there's two options that we mentioned
Mhm.
before, the refresh period, and we set up, how much time is getting back. In this case, it's getting back 2 weeks. So it's looking for the last 2 weeks to check if there's any changes on that column.
And then there's the refresh period. This is how far back you want to refresh each time. So for example, you could set it to refresh the last 7 days of data, meaning it will only look at the previous week when it ran the refresh. So this keep your refreshes super efficient.
Yeah, exactly. And as Alex mentioned, I was setting up, exactly 7 days, as he mentioned before, for my order date on this case, on this scenario. And this is one of the pro tips around this. Partition is fantastic for very large data sets. You can set up your data flow to refresh just specific partitions, making this process even faster. So if you're working with billions of records, this is the way to go. So once everything is configured, and after we define all these metrics, uh, we define all our data flows, and after that we can just go ahead and click OK and refresh and publish this data flow. When you publish the data flow, it's going to be right away starting your first refresh. Be patient, because the first refresh, it may take a bit longer initially as it loads all the historical data. But once this first refresh is done, all the subsequent refreshes will be lightning fast.
Yeah, and here is a pro tip if you really want to go to the next level with Dataflows Gen 2 also support data partitioning, which allows you to split data into different sections based on date ranges.
After you start, all the publishing and first refresh, check everything in your refresh history. You can use the monitoring tab to see how long it took to get all the data processed. You will notice that the second and third refresh are way faster because they are only updating new data. So just like that, you have successfully set up all the incremental refresh in Dataflows Gen 2. That is easy, right?
Check your refresh history under the monitor tab to see how long it took and how much data was processed. You will notice that the second and third refreshes are way faster because they are only updating the new data.
And there you have it. Incremental refresh in Dataflows Gen 2 is a huge performance booster, and it's super simple to set this up.
So, PowerMate, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give us a thumbs up, share it with your network, and drop your question and thought in the comments below. We are just getting started, PowerMate. As usual, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and join us on this journey.
Together, let's unlock the full potential of Power Platform and Microsoft Fabric.
Yeah.